Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I'll be discussing my thoughts and reaction to the latest episode of The Strain, which premiered earlier tonight on FX. It was pretty good. It definitely had its moments, you know. But you know what? Before I keep going on, of course, please be warned that regarding all my video reviews, as usual, this will be full of spoilers. So if you're not caught up on The Strain by this episode or the first 3 episodes, do not keep watching or listening to this video, as I will be going into big spoilers. So you have been warned. That being said, this was a very Dutch-centered episode. You know, we saw Dutch struggling to not only try to escape this breeding facility, but trying to put up this facade of cooperation with Desai, and then trying to win the trust of her fellow female prisoners. You know, she was balancing, she was doing quite a juggling act, you know, with all 3 responsibilities. And, she did it for, she was doing a pretty good job up until the point where she decided to escape. And I loved the fact that the reason for her wanting to escape was fueled by her outrage that her friend wasn't able to see her new baby. That they just cut it out of her, then put her in a blanket, and then just walked out the room like it was no big deal. And I gotta say, my disdain and my disgust for these human collaborators, for Desai, the doctors, the nurses, the security guards at this breeding facility, all of the human collaborators willingly working with the Strigoi sickens me. It's like they, it's just like what Palmer did. You know, Palmer sold his soul to the devil, and that's what all of these people have done. And the fact that none of them seem bothered by this, and that they're just super casual and cold and callous about it, it's really sickening. You know, it's like when people have a really cold, callous reaction to something in everyday life that would normally appall or outrage someone else, and how some people kind of brush it off, or they just keep going about their business. Like, really, this doesn't bother you? And that's what I feel like that was, that was coming from this episode. It's like none of these human collaborators. It would be different if they actually felt guilty about the shit they were being a part of, but none of them seem to give a shit. You know, and it's really, really sad too. And speaking of sad, I mean, you know, as cool as that little gunfight scene was between the ex-cops and Gus's gang, you know, in the little warehouse there, a bit bloody, but, you know, I gotta say, it's also kind of disheartening to see humans fighting each other when they should be fighting together against the Strigoi. They shouldn't have to be fighting from each other and shooting at one another, but it was gonna escalate into a full-blown gang war if something wasn't done. So I understood why they had to attack first, but at the same time, they scored all of this great stuff, you know, all these supplies, weapons, ammunition, food, and whatnot. Although I am a little nervous because of a few looks that, I'm sorry if I butcher the name, Cream, you know, Gus's co-leader, the guy who sold the Oxidio Lumen in the first place. You know, the looks he was giving Gus throughout the episode was like, I'm getting a little tired of you, and I kind of want you out of the picture. You know, that's the kind of look, the facial expressions he was giving him was like, yeah, you know what? This isn't working anymore. I think I'm going to eventually stab you in the back one of these days. You know, he's giving them this look that he's plotting on killing him or plotting to betray him at some point. And I think it's because, you know, of the pettiest reason is that Gus is earning the respect and trust of his men, because a lot of his guys are like, yeah, Gus the Planner, yeah, all right. They're patting him on the back. They're congratulating him on a job well done. And he's giving a little pep talk to the men. And he talked about the whole battering ram thing, and he challenged Kareem, well, do you want to be the first one in? How about you? Do any of you want to volunteer? You know, and, you know, Kareem, I don't think would normally do that, and now I think he's starting to lose his patience or his tolerance of Gus. Like, maybe this alliance was beneficial for both of them for a short time, but maybe that time has passed. So I think if I were Gus, I'd be watching my back with him, because if Gus had caught any of the looks this guy was giving him, I'm sure he'd start to feel pretty defensive. But, you know, who knows? Maybe not. Maybe nothing will happen, or maybe something big will happen that'll have a profound impact on Gus later, and for him and his cousin. Maybe they're both in danger. Something else I really liked about this episode was how F opened up to this woman right after not only losing their entire resistance cell, which is going to set them back, but then she lost her brother. And I love the fact that F finally opened up to somebody about the pain he's experienced, the shit he's gone through, and that he's willingly passed on alcohol, like he's really trying to stay sober now. Because he's been an alcoholic since season 1, and he's been on and off the sauce since then, but now it seems like he's really making an effort not to drink anymore. You know, and good for him, that's great. And I'm also glad that he finally got all this crap off his chest, revealing that he's more connected to the nuclear winter than she realizes. And you know what? As sad as it was seeing her brother die, you know, as soon as the stinger went around his neck, I was like, oh, no, not the brother, shoot, you know. At least, I gotta say, right up until F put him out of his misery, I liked his final sentiment, which was, you know, make them pay. It's like he knew he was going to die and that he was beyond saving, but his final words were words like encouraging words, fighting words, like make them pay. And I love how his sister and F are still encouraged by that, inspired by that. And, you know, even Fett said, it's like you and your brother relit this spark in me that I didn't think was still there, about working together as a team, fighting back against the Strigoi. So, yeah, I gotta say, it's nice to see the old F back. And now, if only he could reunite with his allies. And, of course, to top it all off, I love how Dutch, you know, used her opportunity to try to escape when she did. Unfortunately, did not work out. Hopefully she gets out of it somehow, some way, because this is her second attempt to escape. And yeah, as they say, third time's the charm, so hopefully the third time she'll actually escape and get out of there. And we finally got to see a good look at the human killing floor. Or it's like the bleeding floor, I should say, because they were sticking humans, and it looked like mostly women for the most part, on meat hooks, and then bleeding them out into these big this big drainage system they had or something. And we got a glimpse of this last season when it was under construction, while Eichhorst and Palmer were touring it. They're touring this human slaughterhouse, and now we got to see it live up to its name, which was pretty nasty, but at the same time, now we see what the Strigoi are up to, and I think it can only get worse for our humans here on out, but hopefully they start to fight back soon. Alright guys, what did you think of tonight's episode? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were there moments you were expecting or not expecting? Please feel free to sound off down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear from everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel as we continue to follow along the 4th and final season of The Strain, which airs new episodes every Sunday night on FX. Check your local listings for times. It's proving to be quite the hell of a final season. I hope we get to see more of everybody. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. Have a great rest of the night. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you get to a fresh start Monday morning. Until next time, may the Force be with you.